Amazingly, what most people never realize about traveling Japan after retirement is that the country is naturally engineered for peace, routine, and comfort in a way that feels like it was secretly designed for older travelers. There is no chaos in transportation, no aggressive noise in public places, and no need to rush because the culture rewards slowness and mindfulness. Instead of fighting traffic or stress, you glide through clean stations, scenic countryside, and beautifully organized cities where your pace is respected, not pressured. Japan has become more than a destination. It becomes a rhythm, a soft reset for the second chapter of life. Choose slower cities before major tourist hubs. The easiest way to travel stress-free in retirement is to avoid Japan through the lens of crowd-chasing tourism and instead begin with calmer destinations that still carry the spirit of Japan without the chaos of Tokyo station foot traffic. Cities like Kanazawa, Takamatsu, Hakone, Beppu, Nagasaki, and Matsuyama offer deeply cultural experiences with relaxed pacing, open streets, softer architecture, and much less sensory overwhelm. These places give you comfortable breathing room while still delivering traditional crafts, historic districts, gardens, and waterfront strolls that feel infinitely more human scale than the hyper-urban core of Shinjuku or Shibuya. Slower cities also help align your internal rhythm with Japan's hospitality culture because you ease into the etiquette, transportation patterns, and restaurant-style dining without pressure. Retirees often feel calmer starting their trip outside Tokyo because it removes the shock of arrival. And once your body is in tune with Japan's everyday pace, visiting larger cities later no longer feels intimidating, but instead feels like a rich extension of your journey. Travel outside peak seasons Japan is beautiful year-round, but not equally comfortable year-round for those who want relaxation over spectacle. The difference between trying to see Kyoto during cherry blossom week versus visiting in late spring or early autumn is the difference between feeling rushed versus fully present. Retirees have the advantage of flexible timing, a luxury younger travelers do not have. This means you can plan travel after Golden Week crowds, skip New Year congestion, and experience temples, shrines, and parks the way they were meant to be experienced quietly and soulfully. Off-season travel also comes with practical stress reduction. Trains are less full, restaurant lines are shorter, staff have more time to assist, and scenic viewpoints are peaceful rather than packed shoulder to shoulder. The country reveals a gentler character outside peak tourism windows, and for retirees seeking harmony, this timing is not just convenient, it is transformative. Use luggage forwarding instead of carrying bags. One of the greatest overlooked systems in Japan is Takubin, the luggage forwarding service that allows you to ship your suitcase from hotel to hotel while you travel lightly with only a day bag. For retirees, this eliminates the stress of hauling heavy bags through stations, escalators, or narrow platforms. You simply check out of your hotel, hand the suitcase to the concierge, and it reappears at your next stay like magic. This is not a premium add-on for wealthy travelers, but a widely used convenience service built into Japanese hospitality culture. It preserves energy, prevents fatigue, and maintains comfort throughout the journey. Many long trips are stressful not because of sightseeing, but because of logistics. When that burden disappears, the entire rhythm of travel becomes graceful again. Retirees often report that luggage forwarding alone is what turned their Japan trip from tiring into extremely enjoyable. Choose ryokans with onsen access for natural recovery. Your body experiences travel differently after retirement, and Japan's onsen culture offers built-in restoration that feels like medicine for both mind and muscles. Staying in a ryokan with hot spring access gives you the healing balance of movement during the day and therapeutic soaking at night. The mineral-rich water improves circulation, reduces joint stiffness, and promotes deep sleep, making each new day easier on the body. Onsen towns like Kenosaki, Kusatsu, or Yufuin provide slow walking circuits lined with benches, gardens, and soft lantern-lit streets perfect for evening relaxation. This style of lodging also simplifies your schedule. Instead of organizing dinner plans every night, ryokans with kaseki-style meals allow you to unwind without rushing to external restaurants. You travel through taste, seasonality, and quiet ceremony, free from noise, queues, or stress. In retirement, this shift from active planning to gentle receiving is priceless. Stay near station exits for effortless mobility, even if you are confident with navigation. Staying near a major station exit can eliminate more small stress points than most travelers realize. Japan's cities are organized around transit, and being 1 to 5 minutes from your train or subway drastically reduces walking fatigue, weather discomfort, and route confusion. Hotels near stations also provide easier access to accessible elevators, clear signage, station attendants, and even shelter during rain. Many retirees overexert themselves not because of sightseeing distance, but because of unnecessary walking between accommodation and transit. Proximity builds energy reserves, and those reserves translate into more enjoyable exploration. It also makes spontaneous day trips more realistic because you do not lose time and energy returning to your base. Japan rewards proximity, and seniors benefit most from staying strategically rather than atmospherically distant. Take advantage of senior priority seating and elevators. Japan's kindness to older adults is woven directly into its transportation etiquette. Trains, subways, and buses all have priority seats that people respectfully vacate for seniors without hesitation. Stations provide elevators and escalators in abundance, and signage is extremely clear, reducing anxiety about choosing the wrong exit or accidentally descending a heavy staircase. The infrastructure is built with care rather than tolerance, so senior travelers feel supported rather than pitied. When you lean into these systems rather than navigating independently at all costs, you remove unnecessary strain from your trip and conserve energy for the experiences that truly matter. This thoughtful accessibility is part of why so many retirees say Japan feels like the easiest international destination they have ever visited. Use local guides for cultural context. Hiring a local guide for even 1 or 2 days can radically reduce the emotional labor of learning etiquette, transportation customs, regional food culture, and temple protocol. Japan is a country where subtlety matters more than spectacle, and when someone explains cultural nuance gently, your confidence grows instantly. A good guide is not a tour escort but a bridge builder who makes the environment feel familiar. For retirees, this emotional anchoring removes the sense of foreignness that can create anxiety in the first days of travel. Guides also know low walking routes, scenic rest points, and quiet restaurants that tourists usually overlook. This creates smoother pacing and allows you to absorb Japan's atmosphere rather than scanning maps or searching for seating. A small investment early in the trip pays dividends in comfort throughout the rest of the journey. Build rest days into the itinerary. Stress-free travel is not about seeing as much as possible, but about absorbing what truly matters. Japan is emotionally rich, visually dense, and spiritually layered, which means even light sightseeing can be deeply stimulating. Retirees benefit from building regular rest days into the itinerary, where the purpose is not movement but stillness. A rest day might mean enjoying a garden near your hotel, visiting a tea house, soaking in an onsen, or simply reading while overlooking a river or mountain view. These pauses allow your body to reset and your mind to digest the experiences, instead of stacking impressions on top of each other. Pacing is not loss of time, it is amplification of memory. In retirement, you are no longer racing any schedule. You are finally allowed to savor your life in motion. Rely on train passes for simplicity. Navigating ticket machines every day can become mentally repetitive, so retirees often find peace of mind in regional rail passes or nationwide passes that remove daily decision fatigue. Instead of calculating fares or worrying about platform changes, you move fluidly through the system knowing that your travel is prepaid and flexible. This is especially useful when you decide to take spontaneous day trips or adjust your plan due to weather or energy levels. Using passes also removes small anxieties like missing a connection, because Japanese transit runs with mathematical precision. When movement is predictable, relaxation follows naturally. Eat at small local restaurants instead of trendy spots. High-profile restaurants in Japan often come with waiting lists, strict seating schedules, and long queues, which can create unnecessary stress. Local family-run restaurants, traditional tea houses, small grill shops, and countryside cafes deliver comforting, authentic meals without pressure or crowds. Dining does not need to be a performance to be memorable. In retirement, food becomes part of the travel rhythm rather than a timed event. These smaller places also allow you to eat slowly, converse calmly, and enjoy culinary traditions that were not designed for speed but for nourishment. Japan's most peaceful experiences often hide in modest corners rather than Michelin star addresses. Choose scenic train routes over domestic flights. Japan's trains are not simply transportation. They are extensions of the landscape itself, designed to create a continuous sightseeing experience from town to town. Scenic rail lines glide through mountains, coastlines, riversides, and old villages with more legroom and less stress than airports. Retirees appreciate trains because there is no security line rush, no gate change anxiety, and no turbulence fatigue. You board, sit comfortably, look out the window, and let the country unfold at a human pace. The movement becomes meditative rather than mechanical, and your body arrives at your next destination without the residual tension of flight logistics. Let go of the urge to see everything. The final secret to stress-free travel in Japan is a mindset shift. You do not need to conquer the entire country to experience it deeply. Some of the most meaningful moments happen in small gardens, quiet shrines, tea rooms, market strolls, and still pockets of daily life that younger travelers race past because they are chasing quantity. When you travel in retirement, Japan begins to meet you emotionally rather than visually. Experiences stretch longer, silence feels richer, and one beautiful moment is worth more than a checklist of attractions. You will never run out of things to see in Japan, and that is exactly why you can slow down without fear of missing out. The gift of retirement is presence, and Japan is one of the few countries where presence is part of the architecture of daily life. If you enjoyed this guide and want more relaxing travel wisdom for your next journey across Asia and beyond, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Andario Travels.